I started a 75-day challenge for myself a little over a week ago that's going to take me through the rest of this year. So by December 31st, I will be done if I don't have to start over. Most of you are probably familiar with the 75-day hard challenge, the 75-day soft challenge. This hits somewhere in the middle. I call it a 75-day or a 75 medium. It's really tailored for my personal lifestyle. I didn't want to create something that I felt like that I really couldn't do. I wanted something challenging, but I didn't want to set myself up to fail. So if you're familiar with the 75-day hard, let me grab my list because it's tailored really close to that. 75-day hard. Hold on, here we go. So the 75-day challenge is the hard challenge is 2 workouts, 45 minutes each. One has to be outside. You have to stick to a diet, any diet that you choose, but absolutely 0 alcohol. You have to have a gallon of water per day. You have to read 10 pages of nonfiction, so you're looking at self-development books. And you have to take a progress photo every day. Now there's also 75 soft. I'm not as familiar with that. I think it's like a 30-minute workout a day. I'm not sure really I just know the workout's different, but I'm not sure how what the other guidelines are. So for myself, I chose a 60-minute workout at least 5 days a week. And that doesn't have to be split up, but it can be. I can do that however I need to do. My diet was going to be intermittent fasting. I've been doing that since July, and I really like that, and lower carb. I'm not doing keto. I'm just doing lower carb. Now, low carb, as far as low carb goes, I pay a little bit more attention to that if I eat more than 1 meal a day. If I'm doing a shorter fast and say eating lunch and dinner or breakfast and lunch, I'm going to pay a lot more attention to those carbs than I would if I'm doing OMAD. So 1 meal a day, if I'm just eating, that one meal, and that may include the full meal, and if I do a dessert that day, which still ends up usually under the recommended carbs, but because I'm fasting so long before and after, I don't worry as much about carbs because actually I'm going to create ketones in the longer fast. So I do pay more attention to carbs if I'm doing a shorter fasting window for the day. And for water, I just thought a gallon of water, all I would get done is peeing all day. So I have chosen 64 ounces of water for myself. I'm keeping the 10 pages of nonfiction, and I've been taking a progress photo or just a little video that I could take a still shot from every day. So it's been a week and a day, but I have finished a full week, and I've had pretty good results. For my workouts, I did 6 out of 7 of the days last week. Now, most of that was walk-in, but I had a few days where I have a little aerobic stepper that I did 10 minutes on the step, just up and down the step for 10 minutes. And then I finished that out with walking. And sometimes I would do 40 minutes of walking, 10 minutes of that, and then 10 minutes again of walking later on in the day. So, that's really huge for me. I started this actually being pretty sedentary. Most of my days, I wasn't getting any intentional exercise at all. So it was a little difficult at first. My muscles were having to kind of relearn how to do intentional exercise, and I've been pleasantly surprised. I always used to be active as a younger person. I walked. I would do 10-mile hikes. I would do 6-mile walks several times a week. It just was not an issue, among other things, kayaking and just different things that I enjoy doing, which I still enjoy doing. I've just kind of, let that kind of go off to the side for the last year. So I'm happy to report that I am loving the exercise. It's just sometimes it's not always easy to get it in, but This past week, my husband was supposed to have surgery. It ended up being canceled, but they had a gym at the hotel that we stayed at, so I walked there. I have walked in the rain, I've walked in the dark, walked in the cold. I think I do need to get some kind of treadmill, or at least walking pad for the house. So on days where it's just really, really nasty out, I don't have any excuses not to go out. My diet, my intermittent fasting. Now, as far as the no alcohol, I drink maybe 4 or 5 times a year. So saying I'm going to have zero alcohol just really isn't going to impact anything, because I very rarely do anyway. So my intermittent fasting, I think my longest fast for last week was 23 hours and 12 minutes. My shortest eating window looks like 35 minutes, and that's going to vary. My intermittent fasting, and it's supposed to vary. So, I mean, one day I might do a 16-8. Another day I might do a OMAD 24-hour fasting. I had brunch today, and I'm going to be fasting for the next 48 hours. I mean, I may do longer, but right now I'm thinking 48 hours. So I've been at a standstill or a plateau over, well, pretty much the past month. I had lost 25, and now it's just kind of really not doing a whole lot. So I need something to kind of unstick the scales, even though this challenge isn't primarily about weight. I still need to lose the weight, and it is something that I have to take into consideration. Yeah, for the water, I've done fine. I drink 2 of these. This is 42 ounces, and I drink at least 2 of these a day. I don't count like my cup of coffee in the morning, or if I have any other. I don't really drink any other kind of fluids other than water, coffee, and tea. So I'm doing great on the water. It has been plenty. If I need more, I'll drink more. Pages, that's fine. I've been just finished actually Midlife Muse, and I'm blanking on her name right now, but she has a podcast, Midlife Muse. Really, really good book. Highly recommend for any woman who's in her midlife right now. So that's I read. I'm a very voracious reader, so that's never going to be an issue. Progress photo, yeah, that's fine. Usually every morning, a couple times in my pajamas, but I'll just go ahead and take like a very short video that I can have for the day. So yeah, overall, I have been following this pretty well, and I have created a like a poster board chart. So every day I can cross off when I have finished the day, or the next morning I get up and I cross off for the day before. And I love a visual, so that's been really nice to keep up with that. But so overall, I'm pleased. We finished the full week. I'm on week 2 for now. Next week I'll try and do another update to let you all know where I'm at. But so far so good, and we'll just keep chugging along. Now, when the holidays get here, I know that's going to be with all the desserts, but that is one part of my diet plan with the intermittent fasting. That one of the rules is I can have dessert if it's homemade, which a few nights ago I made some just small little fried apple pies, and I did have that, but it's in my guidelines, and I made it, so it's not something I do very often. If I have dessert even once a week, though, I'll be okay with that. So, yeah, I think overall, I'm pleased. So, wish me luck, and we'll check back in again next week to see how this week went. We'll see you then.